Hey, hello. Friendly reminder. Tomorrow you have vocab quiz week 5. That's a big jump, so please keep in mind. It's on you to know it, not on me, so please make sure you're ready for tomorrow's quiz. Friday, you have your Barron's book due. There is no oopsies. There's no extensions. If you forget your book at home and you're at school, it's a 0, and there's no gold black card that will ever forgive that. Is everyone clear? So if you're at school, your Barron's book is due. Please keep that in mind. If you're taking the test early, your Barron's book is due the day you take it early. Okay? So when your mama, papa, whoever loves you calls me, I'm going to send them the video link and they can listen to the whole speech where I go through. Maybe I'll even send them this link too where they can hear that on Wednesday I reminded you once again. So Saturday, you have a mock exam. Please make sure you are ready to go. A bunch of people have taken it already. Things have gone pretty well. We'll be going over the results on Monday, so please make sure you are there. If you aren't there because you overslept, it's a 0, and it's an unforgivable 0. There's no way to fix it. You either planned ahead, or you took it on Saturday. There's no, oops, Miss Bennett. Yeah, because I'd love to sleep in too. I'm a little stressed. I don't know if you've noticed. I'm also a little cranky. I don't know if you've noticed. So, please make sure you're there on your whiteboard. Here we go. Please tell me, what is the name of the gentleman who created functionalism? Now, at this point, friends, you shouldn't have to look at this information. This is 3 days in a row of asking about the same damn crap. Can we agree? We started this on Monday. Ella, who is it? James. William James. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is the first approach of psychology? What is the first approach of psychology? Guys, you shouldn't be hesitating. No. You shouldn't be getting these wrong either, just because we've done this 10,000 times. Eric, what is it? Structuralism. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it called when it's based on Freud? However, it includes other people like Adler and Jung. Good. What is it, JR? Psychodynamic. On your whiteboard, what is the tool the structuralists use? All of these have been reviewed from day 1. What is it? Morgan. Introspection. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it called when the experimenter controls all of it? What's the matter? I'm now in week 2. On your whiteboard, what is it called when the experimenter controls every aspect of it and puts it in play? What is it called when the experimenter controls it? I have 1. This is not hard. I just rephrased the question. I have 2. This isn't good, guys. I've been talking about this for 2 days, too. I have 2 still. This is what the crap pisses me off. 3. What is it, Gabriel? Independent variable. On your whiteboard, I put a bowl of candy in the front, but you have to make sure you use the same candy in each experiment. So in my experiment, I put Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, 3 Musketeers, and Snickers. However, when Valentino does it, he puts Necco wafers in it and licorice because that's the kind of things he likes. So the results are going to vary. What is it called when I list out the specific instructions about exactly what is necessary? Oh God, guys, we covered it yesterday. I even gave you a massive packet filled with this and I even pointed it out specifically. Still 2, by the way. Still 2. No surprise for girl Christina's got my back. Absolute crushing. I see you, Avery. I see you, Avery. You're my 2. She's been up first on every single one. What is it, Christina?
Operational definition.
Operational definition. If you open up your packet that I gave you yesterday, you will see I even walked you through that packet and was like, hey, this is a great packet. Remember, if you struggle with operational definition, you should really look at it on page, the third actual back, so page 6, operational definition. So, you need to take responsibility for what you do and what you don't know. I'm doing my job. You have to do yours. By this point, you should be through history and approaches and research in your Barron's book. Can we agree? You should be finishing up or working through biology, which is the larger of the 3 sections, by the way. You should be there. So all of my research questions should be very easy for you to answer because you've done your Barron's book on it. And on top of it, there's resources for you to get into if you don't know it. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it called when I put out candy, okay, but my girl Ella has an allergy to all chocolate candy, and I only put out chocolate candy? She'd steal from me, but the fact is she's allergic, and that's why. I have 2, by the way. 3, 4. Okay, why does this get more than the last one? Okay, are you all cheating off the 2 boards that are up? What is it, Morgan? What is a confounding variable, Morgan?
It's something that's like outside of what you're directly trying to test that skews the results or affects the results.
Very lovely, very nicely said, Morgan. On your whiteboard, please tell me, as a participant, this is what you control. As a participant, this is what you control. Good. What is it, Alexis? Dependent variable. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is the most reliable foundation of an experiment? What is the most reliable foundation of an experiment? When you're collecting data, what is the most reliable type of data collection? No, data collection is key. No. Data collection. What is the most reliable type of data collection? Oh God, we've talked about it 3 days now, people. Just because I'm wording it differently doesn't mean you use your context clues. Data collection. So far, 0 people. Cool. No. No. The answer is representative sample. Who can raise their hand and tell me why representative samples would be the most reliable type of data collection? JR.
It's like you're taking into account like the different, I guess like it's more representative of like what the actual like, population is.
Yes.
So it's like
It looks like the population. If you're looking at America and you ask a bunch of white people what type of bread they like, is that going to be a very good idea when white people only make up 47% of America? Is that going to give us a good indication? No, absolutely not. If you want to know what people like in America, we have a larger Hispanic population than we do white population at this point. And we got a whole bunch of other people mixed in there too. Yes? So, predictions, all of those need to come from a representative sample. What is the most commonly used one, but also has plenty of mistakes to it, specifically bias? Data collection. When we talk about it, it's what, Valentino? Random sampling. What tool do we use random sampling with the most? Do we see the difference? Okay, what is it? Maddie? Surveys. Guys, if you're getting kind of rocked on this, then you better spend some time hanging out in my research crash course. So, on every AP exam, there's between 15 to 18 research questions. On the one you're taking Saturday, there's 14. So, if you don't know your research, you're already in the hole. So, on your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it called when I have 5 through 10-year-olds? I have 5 10 through 15-year-olds. I have 5 15 through 20-year-olds, and I ask them all, what is their favorite ice cream? Good. I got 2, 3. Come on, we covered it yesterday, by the way. If I sound annoyed, I'm becoming annoyed because a lot of this crap I've already covered. What is it, Nico?
A cross-sectional study.
Cross-sectional study. Nico, why would we use a cross-sectional study? What are the pros of it?
You can study multiple different age groups or different groups of people and like how they act or behave towards a certain stimulus.
Okay, cool. Why would we use it though? Why do we use it? It's what? Cheap. Absolutely. On your whiteboard, what is the most in-depth type of research model? It gives us plenty of information about what we're actually studying, and we see the impact of what we're studying on other aspects or facets of life. What is it? T. Longitudinal. Now you can have a longitudinal case study there, JR. That's what your favorite thing in the whole wide world is throwing up like 4 times. 4 times maybe slightly an exaggeration, but it's throwing it up a lot. Okay, it's a longitudinal. Why are longitudinals the most beneficial and the most in-depth? Why? You can raise your hand and tell me why, Max.
They take place over a significant period of time.
Absolutely. And it allows you to see, so say for instance, if you all got cancer and cured in 2019, and then I did a longitudinal study on all of you, and starting in 2019 to 2029, okay, so I'd have a 10-year study to see how the impact of having cancer so young in your life would affect long term. Do you think I would find different ways it affected you? And much more outside the parameters of what I was thinking, correct? So that's why longitudinal are so great. Who can raise their hand and tell me why we don't do a ton of them? Nika?
Well, I have a question.
What?
And I can't, because they're more expensive.
They're so expensive.
And how are longitudinal studies different from case studies?
Case studies, some case studies are longitudinal. Case studies are on one specific person, okay, and in depth. So some case studies are longitudinal, some case studies are just for like 3 months. It just depends. Okay, they're very expensive, which makes them hard to do. On your whiteboard, please tell me. I want you to write down all 4 of my lobes and tell me what cortex, because everyone has a cortex, and tell me what areas, if it has an area, is in that specific one. You should know this by heart. I've done this like 2 days in a row. This is my 3rd day talking about this crap. You shouldn't have to look. I don't want you looking if you don't know. At some point, you have to commit this to memory here, people. At some point. There's a marker underneath your nose. There. Huh? It doesn't matter. Here, I'll throw it. Is it mine or yours?
The cortex is in the lobes.
There's always a cortex in every lobe, and some have areas. If you do this right, you only need to write 10 words, people. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn to your neighbor and check there. Some of you are getting rocked by this, and that's not good. Turn to your neighbor and check it. Go.
For the I said visual cortex. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And for the parietal, what did you say? What?
Oh God,
Focus
guys.
area. Oh, yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Please no, I'm not pleased. Okay. At this point, you need to know this. At some point, you have to take responsibility. If you've been writing down things that you don't understand when I'm going through and I see them on your desk and I'm really grateful you're doing that, that's smart. But writing them down isn't going to solve the problem. At some point, you're actually going to have to sit there and actually look at it and think about it outside my class, yes? So, you have to take responsibility because I'm moving on Thursday. You take your test Friday. Monday, I'm doing your mock exam review. Tuesday, we're going to look at your test quickly. Then I have 2 days to maybe cover information. You have to take responsibility. I feel like I'm carrying a lot of weight right now. You need to step up. So, your frontal lobe has your motor cortex and Broca's area in it. Your parietal lobe has your somatosensory cortex in it. Your occipital lobe has your visual cortex in it. And your temporal lobe has your auditory cortex and Wernicke's area in it. If you didn't get that right, it's on you at this point, guys. We covered it yesterday. We went through it yesterday. We did a do now. We looked at the damn diagram. I asked you 10,000 questions about it. We talked about how logically you could remember. At some point, you have to take responsibility. On your whiteboard, what part of the brain controls food, sex, water drives? Also yesterday, also talked about logically to help you remember. I have 4, 5, 6. Patrick. Hypothalamus. On your whiteboard, please tell me what part of your brain is known as the little brain. It deals with all of your fine motor movements. Good. Come on. Still have a lot of wrong answers. What is it, Kayla? Cerebellum. At some point, you have to take ownership for what you do and don't know and actually look at the information. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what do we call the wrinkles on your brain? The wrinkly part of your brain, what do we call them? I have 3. No. Like, I want to know what the wrinkles are actually called. I have 3. By the way, I don't know what that says to me. We talked about this in-depthly. I did it on Monday. I did it yesterday in-depthly. What is it? Maddie? Corticalization. Who can raise their hand and tell me why we have corticalization? Why? Alyssa?
So all like the little like lines and like wrinkles, they make it so that there's more room.
More surface area, right? Now, your corticalization happens to be located on what part of your brain? On your whiteboard, please. What part of the brain has corticalization? Good, I got 2, 3. No, it's the outer layer that I'm asking about. Good, what is it? Gabriel? Cerebrum. By the way, Gabriel's killing it. He's the first board up on bio so far, every time. On your whiteboard, do you have a diagram on it? You just knowing. Killing it then. Hell yeah. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what do we call the hemispheres of your brain? All of your lobes fall into this. I have 1, 2, 3. Come on. 4, 5. Alexis, what is it? Cerebral cortex. You have to acknowledge what you're good at and what you're not. If this is not what you're good at, take the time to look. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is the call center of your brain called? This is pushing all of your afferent neurons to your somatosensory cortex. If you don't know this, we've covered it like 3 times today. And my girl Christina did a beautiful job explaining it. And what is it, Christina?
The thalamus.
The thalamus. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is... We did scans yesterday, did we not?
Yes.
Perfect. On your whiteboard, please tell me which one tracks what part of your brain is the most active. What scan tracks what part of your brain is the most active? Good. What is it, Abigail? Head scan. On your whiteboard, please tell me which is the most accurate of all of our scans. Good. What is it, Avery? MRI. On your whiteboard, please tell me, if I want to see how active your brain waves are right now, to see if you're all emitting beta, what would I use? Good. What would I use, Patrick? EEG. If I wanted to see a 3D scan of your brain and wanted to... it was kind of a weird one. Just kidding. Let me try that again because I blended like 2 of them together. Oops. On your whiteboard, please tell me, if I wanted to see if there was a rod going through your brain, what would I use? What would I use, Kristen? CT scan. On your whiteboard, please tell me. Which one uses glucose? Good. Good. You're missing a letter. JR.
That's me.
PET scan. PT scan means nothing. On your whiteboard, please tell me your two parts of your central nervous system. Good. Good. What are they, Maddie?
The brain and the spine.
Brain and the spine. Your peripheral nervous system immediately breaks down into two sections. What are the two sections? Your peripheral nervous system breaks down immediately. Good. Ella.
Autonomic and somatic.
There you go. Killed it. Autonomic and somatic. Give me an example of something that is controlled by your somatic nervous system. Give me an example of something that's controlled by your somatic nervous system. Good. What does that say? Wow, it looks like curling. I was like, what the hell? Curling would work. Gabriel, what is your somatic nervous system control?
Your motor, your voluntary.
There you go. So what would be a perfect example of it? Curling, riding, picking something up, throwing a baseball, whatever you want. Give me an example of your autonomic nervous system, please. Good. No. What is it? Avery, breathing. What is your autonomic control? What is autonomic? Like, what is it? Yeah, all things you don't think about. On your whiteboard, your autonomic is broken down into two components. What are those two components? Good. Morgan, what are they? Sympathetic and parasympathetic. If my heartbeat is racing because I am so annoyed, which one is working? Good. Ella.
Sympathetic.
Sympathetic. Why is it sympathetic?
Because it's fight or flight.
There you go. If I'm sweating, which one's active? I'm sweating, and my body is like kind of constricting my chest a little bit to slow down my heart rate. What is it, Max? Parasympathetic. Good. Okay. So, yesterday, I don't think I got to. I want to see how much you know about your neurons. Now, your neurons, this is new content, and it's pretty much the end of it for me. Then, so what we're going to do for the rest of today and all day tomorrow in class is I'm going to show you multiple choice questions. We're going to go over them. Does that make sense? So, I'm running out of content to cover, which is a good thing, right? And then we're going to do practice multiple choice questions after this. So, I always save neurons to the end, A, because I don't like neurons. The different types of neurotransmitters and all that stuff. So I'm going to save it towards the end. Now keep in mind, I have taught you this. We have reinforced it when we did states of consciousness, correct? When we talked about drugs, how they all interact. Then I talked about it, of course, again, we got to disorders and a little bit of treatment. So, what is the fancy term for sensory neurons? What is the fancy term for sensory neurons? By the way, this is what you're doing now, so every single person in this room better get it right. What is it, T? Afferent, what? Sure, you're going to miss a bunch. On your whiteboard, what is the fancy term for motor neurons? What is it, Eric? What is it? Efferent. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what are these, which causes receiving cells to increase their speed of firing? So cocaine makes your neurons fire faster. What do we call that? When it makes your neurons fire faster, what do we call it? It's an overwhelming. Good. My one. Morgan, what is it? Excitatory. I had two. Abigail had it right too. What is it called when it slows the rate of which a neuron fires? Good. Good. What is it? Ella.
Inhibitory.
Inhibitory. Now, here are specific types of neurotransmitters. On your whiteboard, if I don't have enough of this, I have depression. Good. Patrick. Serotonin. This controls movements and feelings of pleasure. This is movements and feeling of pleasure. Heroin also hits this one. Good, JR.
Dopamine.
Dopamine. On your whiteboard, please tell me. This is going to be dealing with arousal, attention, memory, and muscle control. It is your utility neurotransmitter. If you don't have it, it causes Alzheimer's. Good. I have some wrong, but I have some right. Alexis, what is it? ACH, acetylcholine. Okay, on your whiteboard, please tell me. This slows us down. It is involved in sleep and inhibits movement. It's also involved in lack of it causes Huntington's disease. Good. What is it, Elijah? GABA. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it? Which one causes it? Too much of this causes schizophrenia, where you have more information than needed. You covered this 2 weeks ago. Good. What is it, Nico? Dopamine. What if you have too little of this? It causes Alzheimer's, and you forget your memories. Good. Abigail. ACH. On your whiteboard, this is for pain relief. It gives us the feeling of pleasure. It also uses pain gate. It is. Nope. Pain gate's not dopamine. What is it, T? Endorphins. Okay. If you were struggling on those, which if you did, you're in good company with me because I have to have a cheat sheet for this. Okay. This is the sheet that you need. This is from week 5. Week 5 content. This is it. So if you're struggling on this, this is the sheet you need to know. I'm pulling the questions right off that. It is very much so straight to the point. If you're weak on this, you're in good company. This is one of my weakest things. Just doesn't click. For me, everything else kind of does with some things. Okay. Questions or concerns? That's big. That's the big content. For your test, we covered all the big reviews. So, any questions, concerns? Does anyone need me to explain anything else? On an individual thing? No? All right, we'll see how much you know. This did not go well last period. But, 5th period, I've got faith. Here we go. You're going to answer number 1. You're going to write on your board A, B, C, D, or E. You're going to show it so I can see it. Oh God, we have a whole alphabet going here. Why don't you turn to your neighbor and come up with a decision and come up with a consensus here?
What did you say? You said B with that part.
All right, you're going to change your board. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What is it, Christina?
Oh, it's B,
Why?
because it's based on introspection, which is like dealing with your mind and how you think, your thought patterns.
Absolutely. It's thinking about thinking is what structuralism is. It's William Wundt's structuralism, thinking about thinking. So the only rational one is cognitive. These are different. These make you think a little bit, but break it down into the simplest parts, people. Now that she said that, doesn't it make perfect sense to everyone? So stop and think about it. Do not rush and do not freak out. Number 2. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me see. I want to see everyone. Good. The answer is what, JR?
A.
A. Why is it A?
Because to be honest with you, I just don't guess. It's not really.
Max.
Both of them, Watson and Skinner, were both behaviorists.
There you go. They're
Watson
behaviorists.
actually took-
Who can tell me what John B. Watson's famous for? Raise your hand. Just tell me. What is he famous for, T? What? Guys, it's one of the top 5 most important experiments. What do you got, Gabriel? What's the name of it? Little Albert. Little Albert, yes. And he is using what type of learning to do it? Nico. Maddie. Classical conditioning, remember? Now, he's not sitting there and say, I'm choosing to freak out. He just responds, correct? That would be classical conditioning. What is B.F. Skinner famous for? Skinner boxes, and what type of learning is he? Operant conditioning, which is by choice, correct? You do it to avoid something or because you want something, correct? Like most of you are working really hard today because you don't want me mad at you. Right? There you go. All right, let's look at number 5. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. What do we got? The answer, good. The answer is what, Kristen? E. Let's look at number 6 real quick, and then we're going to move on. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me see. Good. What is it, Eric? B. Perfect. All right, we're done with that then. You guys as well, so we're going to move on. Let's see how well we know our research. Are we worried about this? You should be.
Negatory on that alpha.
10, please. Five, 4, 3, 2. Good. What is it, Abigail? D. There you go. Let's do 11. Five, 4, 3, 2. I've got all the alphabet. So turn to talk to your neighbor and come up with a decision. You got 10 seconds.
Well, has to cause a causation.
You got 5 seconds to change your board. 5, 4, 3, 2. Don't waste my ink, Morgan. 2, 1. The answer is what, Morgan? Why? There you go. You have to put it in essentially a little vacuum, which is what experiment does. You try to limit all the confounding variables. You try to make sure everything is specific to tie this causes this to happen. Yes?
Yeah.
There you go. Yes, my darling. Quasi-experiment is like if I did an experiment in this classroom. There's so many other things going on. I could have a bunch of random kids come in, all that stuff. It's not a nice, clean thing. Okay? All right, let's go 9. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Got some wrong answers, but you know what? We got kind of the alphabet here. Turn and talk to your neighbor. See if you can convince them you're right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gabriel, what is it? B. Very nice. Okay. Here we go. Number 5. Number 5 and 6. So label 5, 6. You're doing both. You have to read the little scenario at top. Huh? 5 and 6. So write 5, whatever your answer is, 6, whatever your answer is. You're answering both, people. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So the answer to number 5 is what, Valentino? E. E. Okay. So when we look at it, okay, number 6 is what? Alyssa.
See?
C. Okay, the placebo effect. There you go. All right. Let's look at number 2 and 3, please. You need to read the same scenario. Read the scenario for 2 and 3, please.
Wait, for 6 was what?
The answer is C.
You said placebo.
Yeah, you said
It's
placebo.
double blind.
It's placebo.
Double blind.
Is it double blind?
5 is E, 6 is C.
Oh.
Sorry. We're doing 2 and 3 right now. Two and 3, same thing. You're gonna label 2. You're gonna label 3. Good. Come on, come on, come on. Good. What are 2 is what, Alexis? Hypothesis. Good. 3 is what, David? C, which is the length of time it takes. Perfect. Good. All right. How much time do I have? Oh, it's like 3 minutes behind for some reason. Here, I'm going to do one more from bio, which I'm going to spend most of my time going over with you. Here we go. Let's do number 9, since it wants me to look at 9. That's a weird one to open, too. Yeah.
Wait.
Figure it out. I mean, AP has some weird things. By the way, I've got the whole alphabet, so why don't you go talk to your neighbor and figure out what the hell do you think?
Okay, that's
Yeah.
Three, 2. AP wanted they wanted you to write C, lesion, interruption of tissue. I don't know. What a weird one. It was a weird one. It was a weird one. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Wait for crunch, but
Yeah.
they all couple off your